This is Eunoia, spoken by Elswyth, the femdom hypnosis podcast dedicated to relationship and mind building. Today's Eunoia, What's a Chastity Keyholder Without a Key, explores denial and rewards, of course with a lot of talk about chastity. But I also include how to use the permissive circumstances if chastity is not your thing. As always, we start first with relationship building. So I have some other shout outs on the blog post, including some of the answers I received when I asked you all what you would do with 10 minutes of limit-free creativity. But this message I received from TM I wanted to share with you because, well, it ties in nicely with today's theme. Over the past 3 to 4 years, I've developed an interest in different things that I would scoff at, thought of as strange or had no opinion on, such as getting pegged, wearing a chastity cage, prostate milking, my queen rewarding me by letting me be her throne. Oh, that's saucy and juicy and good. Okay. And my goddess allowing me to release, and my mistress teaching me how to make sure I follow directions. And I'm editing out a little piece here. He shared a number of tasteful photos of the toy, the chastity cage, he's been using. And here he says, pictures of a new caged beast coming soon. Well, I received those pictures and I'm not so sure it looks like a beast at all. It looks quite sweet actually. It reminds me of the little axolotl I saw at the garden center last week, just peeking out from between the water ferns. Okay. So let's get on to our actual topic now. But I want you to begin by preparing yourself. Finding that focus. Step 1. Drop your shoulders. Are you guilty of having them up? Just roll them up, back, down. Feeling better already? Now, do a few small counterclockwise neck circles. Do you have to think which direction is counterclockwise? Don't worry, we all have our little quirks. Now go the other direction. A good deep breath in, hold, and release it back out. Okay. You can't start a chat about denial and rewards without digging a bit into the why. The first why, no matter what anyone tells you from either side of the equation, is pleasure, is happiness. Yep, some people experience pleasure through denial. For them, it can be about showing devotion, shifting the focus from your pleasure to another's, maybe a challenge for yourself, or some people are very guilty of this one. You just need to break a bad, time-wasting habit. And there's 2 different ways of doing it. Obviously, the chastity devices, like I mentioned with TM and his new toy, devices, cages, piercings, etc. That. There's also just orgasm control and denial by using the mental side of it. In both cases, it is about giving up that control. With the devices, some people just really like knowing they do not have a chance or a choice to cheat. It's still a mental game. The presence of the device can be hard to ignore, keeping the symbol of control in a man's mind even more than a discreet collar or a cuff might. Now, orgasm control and denial without a device is, of course, possible. We can do it with mental triggers or hypnosis. You can also choose it outside of hypnosis, a willing choice, and just use those sessions for when you struggle. Now, let's say this is not your thing at all, or perhaps just not a part of your life at this time. Will you lose part of the spoken by Elswyth experience? No. Of course, there could be some sessions in the shop that won't appeal to you, but we know that's the case for all of them, isn't it? So what about that permissive circumstance? What if you use the permissive circumstance for a different kind of release, a different kind of permission? Permission to read that extra chapter in the book, to take that bubble bath, play an extra round of tennis, whatever works for you. Did that get your brain going? So choosing to use the permissive circumstance as actual chastity, choosing to use a device or use the mental game, that's just another way that you can personalize this experience between us. For the next minute, I want you to take the time to focus on the benefits of denial. Giving up what you want today for what you truly want later on. And then we'll talk about today's homework and permissive circumstance. So next episode, we'll talk about how to DIY this relationship and keep building towards our public Friday session and the Saturday Patron-Only session. Those will not just be about denial and rewards, but they will have a lot to do with kneeling. And now I know you've been waiting for this, so let's talk about today's homework and permissive circumstance. Homework. Tell me a few ways you can think of, outside of chastity, to deny and reward yourself. And your permissive circumstance is this. If you didn't get to release yesterday, you get to today. Sometimes it does pay to not know your random garden plants. Thank you for your loyalty and your devotion. We'll meet up again tomorrow for more. Bye for now.